Welcome to DealGo. Today, I will explain the main features that charterers can perform, which include creating cargo circulations and publishing them for ship owners to review and respond to. First, we will log in. We will go to the sign-in panel and log in. On the left side menu, we see that the user type is charterer, and we have the options Open Cargo List. By clicking on it, we will go to the Open Cargo List. We notice that we currently don't have any cargo. By clicking on the information icon, it will take me to a details panel containing the details of the cargo circulation. By clicking on Create, for example, it will take me to additional details on how to create this cargo step by step with interfaces explaining each field. For now, we will do it directly. We will return to the cargo circulation list. We notice that I don't have any cargo circulations or cargo circulation templates. I will create a cargo circulation. By clicking on it, it will take us to the cargo circulation creation interface. We have several steps we need to follow to create a cargo circulation. By clicking on the robot button, it will give some tips for creating the cargo. Here, it advises me on how to create a cargo circulation, such as giving a unique name, selecting the ship, and specifying loading and discharging ports. We will name the cargo circulation here. For example, we need to ship 10,000 square meters of cotton seeds. Then we have the option of choosing spot or adjusting the date manually. For example, I will set it manually. Then we click Next to move to the next step. In the next step, we will specify the ship or ship characteristics we need for shipping our cargo. Here we can choose tanker, general cargo, or container. I will choose general cargo. We can also specify additional characteristics for this ship we want to charter, and we can specify whether we need it sole or part. If we choose part, we can specify the loading and discharging process. Then we will leave it on sole and click Next. In this step, we will choose the loading ports and the goods we need to load. We can choose more than one loading port and more than one goods to load in each port. In our example, we will load from one port one goods type, which is cotton seeds. We can choose the port type, whether it is a seaport or a river port. We can search for a port by filtering in the global area, then the local area, then the port. Or we can directly search for the port by the port name, or the city name where this port is located. You can add additional options optionally, such as sea draft and air draft. You can also specify the loading method as you wish and additional options for this port, such as on which day it is closed for holidays, and so on. The important part is the cargo tons, and here we will specify the cargo we will load in this port. In our example, we will load cotton, so we will choose the main cargo type as breakbulk and the subcargo type is seeds. Then we will choose cotton seeds. Since it is the material, and we only have one type of cargo, it will automatically select the recognized default value for the stowage factor of this material in cubic meters and cubic feet per ton for both types. You can modify it because it is the default value and not the mandatory value. You can specify the IMDG for this goods and choose more than one IMDG code. Or you can specify that it is not applicable to your current cargo. You can specify the appendix and UN number, which are optional fields and not mandatory. The mandatory fields are the weight and volume of the cargo. So, you must specify or determine the minimum and maximum for this material, or the minimum and maximum in cubic meters or cubic feet for this material. Automatically, when you specify the minimum and maximum weight of the material, the cubic meters for this material will be calculated. Similarly, if you change the cubic, the tonnage will be calculated automatically because we have the stowage factor value. You can also specify SQM for this material, but it is an optional input and not mandatory. Alright, we have specified this material and its weight. Now we will click Save. We notice that the material we want to load in this port on the ship has been added. If you want to load another material in this port, you can click Add Cargo to Port, and thus you will create another material for loading. If you want to edit this material, you can click Edit. If you want to delete this material in case of setting it incorrectly, you can delete it. For example, I will add another material I want to load in this port. I will specify it quickly and randomly. I will enter cubic meters here, and it will take the tons automatically. Alright, this material has been added, but I do not actually want to add this material, so I will delete it by clicking the Delete button. The material has been deleted. Alright, we have one cargo in this port that we want to load onto the ship. We will move by clicking next to the discharging ports. Here we need to specify which ports we want to discharge the materials in. We can also choose more than one discharging port. Alright, I will choose a specific port in Turkey and then choose, as in the loading port, liner out. Then I will now choose the materials I want to discharge in this port. As we mentioned earlier, we can discharge more than one material in one port, and we can discharge and choose more than one port and discharge the same material in parts. We notice that when choosing the material we want to discharge in the port, only the materials I added to the loading port appear since I cannot discharge a material that I did not add to the loading port. Here, in the minimum tons, it shows that I can discharge 9,500 tons because I loaded 9,500 tons. In this example, we will say that I will discharge half of the material in this port, for example. So, if I discharge 4,500 tons out of the 9,500 tons I added to the ship or added to the loading port, the cubic meters will be calculated automatically. We notice that now half the weight of the material has been discharged in this port. I will add another port to clarify. I will choose any port in Turkey for discharging, for example, and then add the cargo to this port, the material I want to discharge. We notice that the amount I can now choose for discharging has become half the amount, which is the remaining amount from what I discharged earlier. It has become 5,000 tons instead of 9,500 tons if I leave it as is. So, I will discharge the remaining amount by clicking the Save button. Now, I no longer have any remaining materials. By clicking the remaining button here, I can review the materials I have loaded and how much is left of them. For example, we do not want to discharge in more than one port, so I will delete this material from this port, and we notice that it has become 5,000 tons that I have not discharged yet. I will delete the port completely and edit the material I entered first, and tell it to discharge the 9,500 to 10,000 tons in the port I chose first. Now, by clicking Next, we will move to the Reporting or Review Table step, which will review everything I entered earlier. Here we have a total of 9,500 to 10,000 tons loaded onto the ship and other units such as cubic meters, cubic feet, and SQM as well. One material of 9,500 to 10,000 tons loaded in this port. We have one discharging port with one material discharged, and it's discharged 9,500 to 10,000 tons of loads. Then we have the cargo tables, which are the loads I loaded and discharged onto this ship. Each load, how it is moved. So this load, which is cotton seeds, is loaded 9,500 to 10,000 tons in this port and discharged 9,500 to 10,000 tons in this port. I have specified the material where it should be loaded, its characteristics, weights, volumes, where it should be discharged, and how its sizes and weights should be. By clicking Next, we will move to the final step. In this step, we will specify whether this cargo circulation we want to create is open to the public, meaning all users can view it, or only a group of companies can view this cargo circulation. Currently, we do not have a company group, but you can add a company here. We will explain that in another episode, so I will choose View to Public for now, meaning any ship owners can view this cargo circulation and read its details. Alright, I will choose Address Commission and Broker's Commission, which is optional. I will choose random numbers and then choose the type of contract you want to create based on. We have 4 types of contract, and we will choose one of them. Finally, if you want to add any other notes, for example, you can add comments to this cargo circulation. At the bottom, we also have a map showing the loading and discharging ports we chose. If you have more than one loading port and more than one discharging port. Alright, we notice here that we have 2 buttons to save. Save as template and regular save. If you save, this cargo circulation will be saved and published directly. If you save as template, this cargo circulation will be saved as a template so you can create more cargo circulations based on the information you stored now. For example, I will save as template for now. After clicking Save as Template, it will take me directly to the template list. We notice that a new template has been created in the template list. If we go to the cargo list, we notice that no cargo circulation has been created yet. We will go to the template list and use this template to create a new cargo circulation based on it. We click on Use. And we notice that all the information I entered is now available. You can modify the date, title, or anything you want, and then click Next. We will keep all the information as it is when we created this template, and we click Next. Then Next, same loading port, same cargo, same discharging port, same cargo. Then we notice the same report table. Finally, we click Save, and here it will take us to the cargo circulation list. We notice that a cargo circulation has been created and published. I will repeat the process again to notice the speed of creating a cargo circulation. After doing it, I will change the quantity. Here, a note appears when modifying the cargo in the port that all cargo in the discharging port will be cleared because the new weights need to be reset. We move to the discharging ports. We notice that no port is specified anymore. I will choose the port again and specify the full load and click Next. Alright, it has now created another cargo circulation. You can enable or disable publishing this cargo circulation if you don't want to publish it now, pause it temporarily, or publish it and leave it. You can see the details briefly from the card in this list, such as the title, location, sizes, and weights by clicking this button. We also have a filter button to filter the results. Currently, when you publish a cargo circulation, you are showing it on the map. I will go to the public map and log out to see the cargo circulation since I have saved it as public, meaning everyone can see it. If you want to see the details of your cargo, I will log in again and go to more detail. Clicking on more detail will take me to read all the details of this cargo circulation that I created. Here, many buttons will appear, which we will explain later in other lessons, such as the short-term overview list and how you can modify the companies that can view this cargo circulation, and which companies are interested in this cargo circulation. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.